Hi, I'm Allison Priestman, and what follows is a short video that Nick Totton and myself have created to explore more some of the ideas behind our book, How to Be a Bad Therapist. It's just been self-published on Amazon and is available in book and Kindle form. In this short and hopefully easy to read book, we aim to throw open some windows to bring fresh air into the discourse about what makes a good or a bad therapist, and to offer some redefinitions of therapy. We suggest that therapy isn't an expert knowledge system, open to being standardised and manualised. It's more akin to local, indigenous, embodied and relational forms of knowledge. Therapy isn't primarily academic, and we'd argue is not best taught in an academic, rigorously assessed context. And we're interested in questioning who sets the rules, and are the rules and expectations of how to be a good therapist the most helpful ones? In the search for high standards and protection of the client, has something been lost? We believe that the core skills of being a therapist are human and innate. Rather than offering a restrictive model of what should and shouldn't be done, could training reframe itself to look at what's getting in our way of being in contact, offering intimacy, creating and maintaining an appropriate relationship? Training in exploring how to work creatively with our wounding rather than acting out from our wounding. Counselling and psychotherapy, especially when we work relationally, is often an unpredictable process. And Nick and I in the book will explore how to embrace the inherent messiness, awkwardness and unknowableness of being a therapist. Here's Nick and myself talking about why we wanted to write the book and about the How to Be a Bad Therapist webinar series that we ran in 2020 that the book grew out of.
It's why we put on webinars with that title, and that was, I think, a moment of inspiration, because I think we've both found out that a lot of what we want to do as therapists is generally regarded by therapy officialdom as bad with a capital B, and as not the way you ought to do it. And I think we felt very strongly about challenging that and explaining why we were doing things the way we do. What do you think?
I really enjoyed the webinars. It was great to work with you, and it was so easy and flowed. But I think, and I'm still trying to digest it, it was that look in people's eyes, like, what is it that they're seeing or tasting? It was something visceral, that kind of excitement, and like, this feels new and real and valuable. And I'm still unpacking it. Even writing the book, it's like there's something visceral, and I feel like we went some way towards capturing, but it's still elusive.
Yeah, and I think as well as novelty and recognition, it was really interesting that both things were there, and I think that is true often, isn't it? When one encounters something that really matches, resonates in one, it feels both like something completely new and like something completely familiar. And oh yes, now I know what it is. This thing, Well, I suppose I it may be a bit arrogant, but I think of it as a sort of filter. Actually,
the title is the filter.
Yeah, that if people don't like the title, they won't like the book.
Yeah. What I was really interested in retrospectively, because when we did the webinar series, we kind of started with some ideas, and then a lot were driven by what came up within each group, and that of course reflected on our own particular interests. But when I stepped back and I was writing the book, I kind of felt, of course, this really speaks to our core interests as well, which is about working with embodiment, working with relationship, and working with wildness in a political context.
Yeah, it was a collaboration not only between us, which it certainly was, but also with the entire group, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, so it was 2 groups to begin with, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
one group.
And it's impossible to tell how much actually came in from the group that we would not have otherwise said or later written, but certainly some. The idea of embracing it is about letting go of our anxiety and potential shame about it, because I think all of us, however long we've been working in non-conformist ways, we all of us have in our head a sort of policeman voice saying, "That's not what you should do. You're not a proper therapist. You're not doing it right. You're not being good." So embracing it it's about overcoming that, about actually taking the step, signing in blood, okay, I'm on the other side,
And with that can come a lot of freedom when
Yes.
we embrace those inner authority figures.
Yes.
Freedom and hopefully more space and enjoyment, and maybe even play, which is one of our chapters in the book. Being able to relax.
Yeah, well, as you know, relaxation is such a central thing for me, more and more. It never gets less; it always grows. Actually, that what I'm trying to offer clients is the opportunity to relax physically and emotionally and mentally. All 3 tend to follow together with each other, and we can start with any one of those, and the other ones will follow. But in particular, relax about the rules that we are consciously or unconsciously trying to follow, and start afresh. It's what I'm trying to offer clients. It's what I try to offer trainees, and it's what I try to do myself.